Hey everyone, Dev with Crime Hive, and we're back with the Lori Vallow case. All right, we've got some more documentation here that sheds some more light on the indictment against Lori right here for the conspiracy to commit murder against her former husband Charles Vallow. Now, I've already covered some of these videos, and I won't go into depth on some of the aspects of this case, but you can always go see that on my channel. Again, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. I come out with other videos on other cases, not just this one. And let's continue here. So, right here, you've got Charles Vallow, Lori. We learned some documentation was given out in relation to these charges against Lori to commit the conspiracy to commit murder. So what I did is I found the document, went through some of the synopsis of it for you, and we'll go through some of this here. So if you remember, on 7/11, July 11th, 2019, that the Chandler Police Department were called out for a shooting, and this is where we learned that Alex Cox, Lori's brother, had indicated that he shot Charles in self-defense. Okay, right in this synopsis, we learned that there was concern about a potential bullet strike on the ground near Charles Vallow's body. Okay, there was also concern regarding the timeline of events that came to light in the days following the homicide. So it goes on to say that they didn't have probable cause at the time, but they were certainly looking at this as more than just an accident, more than just self-defense. Okay, so you can see as they're building this case throughout time, what they really learned, what they gathered. Of course, we knew that they were struggling. You know, Charles and Lori were struggling in their marriage. Lori's accusing Charles of infidelity. Charles, of course, is pleading for a mental health evaluation against Lori. Okay, because if you remember, you know, she's wanting to prepare for 144,000 people for the end of the world. You know, she's this goddess. You know, there's dark spirits, light spirits, and she starts referring to Charles as Ned and Ned Snyder. So really bizarre stuff. I go into more of that in other videos. So let's just continue through here, and I'll point out some of the interesting things. Of course, they did all those search warrants, telephone records, social media accounts, bank records, medical records, everything, emails. And the evidence, this is interesting here, shows that Charles' death was planned. Okay, and it was necessary to prevent Charles and others from confronting Lori about her extreme religious beliefs when he came to town on 7/11. Okay, so the death of Charles Vallow was also necessary in order for Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow to marry and fulfill the religious prophecy. Pretty heavy right there. Okay, Charles was, you know, looking to intervene, meet with Lori, try to get her evaluated mentally because he thought some things were going on with her and that something bad was going to happen to him. And of course it did. He was killed. So as we're going through the document here, they learned some things. They learned, I won't go into that, that's more about the dark and light spirits and all that, but what they did, the first evidence they said to cause harm to Charles Vallow was discovered in text messages. Okay, there's a lot of things blocked out, so you'll see some things blocked out. I'm not going to give names or some of the, you know, I'm not going to surmise some of the things that they're saying with that, but I will tell you that that phone data was, of course, an important tool in this case, as it is with a lot of them nowadays, right? Technology, so many people are being discovered with these crimes because of technology, right? And that's a good thing. Now, Lori texted Charles Lori texted a friend that Charles was blocking her gifts, okay? And then it's more blocked out. But what happened, what we learned here through this right here, all of this that's blocked out, is apparently there was, let's see if I can find it here, that Lori actually talked about committing harm to Charles. And so I don't know if it was right here, but let me see if I can go through. Might be a little bit later here. But they went through a web search on Lori Vallow's web history, and they also found that she was looking into Social Security disability, okay, around this. So she started researching that right before Charles died. Okay, she was looking at getting $4,000 a month from it. Okay, now if you keep going through here, this is really big. This is really important here. on 6/29, June 29th, Charles Vallow discovered a fictitious letter that Lori sent, okay, to, it's blocked out, but the letter was written as if it was Charles Vallow asking Chad Daybell to come to Arizona to assist him with writing a book, okay? Now, what's interesting is that discovery apparently sends everything into action because Charles confronts Lori about this fictitious letter, okay, accusing her of writing the letter, and so that Chad Daybell could provide a reason to his wife to come to Arizona to visit Lori. So Charles asked Lori to come clean about her relationship with Chad Daybell by the end of the day, or he would contact Tammy Daybell and inform her of the relationship. Okay, really interesting. Tammy Daybell, of course, is dead as well. Chad Daybell's wife, right, at the time. And now we keep going through here. Okay. They weren't able to find communication between Lori and Chad that showed he was directly involved in the planning of Charles Vallow's murder. Okay. They weren't able to come to figure that out. But there were other bits of information here, So Lori learns about the intervention of Charles wanting to come out there for the mental health evaluation. And so she wanted to reach out to Alex to warn about this plan, okay? And, of course, we remember that Lori's, telling Alex, hey, I need you to stay with me the next couple days, right? They know something's going down. According to a lot of these messages, she's saying, thank you for standing by me. It's all coming to a head this week. I'll be like Nephi, I am told. And then we learn about what that means here in just a little bit in the documents. Now, here's some interesting aspects, okay? Then it goes into following the murder of Charles Vallow, okay? Lori ends up taking his rental vehicle and cellular phone, right? So here's the crazy thing, though, about this, right? He's been killed. Lori goes to Burger King to get food for JJ, and then goes to get some flip-flops at Walgreens, okay? She returns back, and Alex Cox doesn't call 911 until 43 minutes later, okay, to report that shooting. Now, Alex had indicated that it had just happened. The shooting had just happened. He was provided with CPR instructions, and he acted as if he was performing life-saving measures on Charles, okay? It was not until emergency personnel began life-saving measures that they saw blood coming from Charles's body. So this would indicate that Alex performed no emergency aid, it said, okay? So they then conclude 43 minutes he'd been laying there just suffering, just dying in that process before 911 was called. Okay, so pretty crazy as we're learning through the details of the documents here. Now, we learned that Lori, Tylee, and Alex told investigators about the physical altercation. And then what's interesting is Lori says she leaves the residence with Tylee and JJ. Okay, and before leaving, Tylee and Lori reported hearing a gunshot. Okay, pretty interesting there. We knew that Lori told police that Alex was asked to stay at her house to protect her from Charles when he arrived. Okay, when Alex was asked about it, he said that they were going to a water park or to go shooting. What was his answer to that? Okay, so a lot of inconsistencies here. Big inconsistency was with the second shot. Okay, there were a couple gunshots to Charles here. First one seemed accurate to Alex's statement, right? But the second shot, they said, entered below Charles's rib cage and exited through the upper left shoulder, causing a shored wound and defect in the flooring where Charles was found. So this angle would indicate that Charles was already lying on the floor when his second shot was fired. Okay, that would seem more like an execution at that point, right? He's already laying down, not like a self-defense where there's two quick shots or whatever the case in a dynamic situation. It wasn't like that, right? They're saying forensics are showing that he's laying there, he's already down, and the bullet angle shows that. Okay, so really interesting there. So all of this is tying together. As you can see, there were more text messages between Chad and Lori. Okay, and this is interesting. Chad talks about, hey, I got the inspiration to go back to my original death percentages that helped us track Charles, Ned, etc. Tammy is very close. Her percentage has fallen steadily since Hiplos left. It is encouraging. Okay, that is pretty ominous right there. Tammy Daybell, again, dead, right? Chad Daybell sending this text message. Then we learn about the whole Nephi thing, how Lori talked about Nephi and Laban ending, if I'm saying that right. Okay, what we learn, what that means is, according to Mormon doctrine, Nephi is a prophet in the Book of Mormon, and they believe Lori was referring to Nephi using Laban's sword to kill Laban. Okay, and she was saying this, referring to this in her text messages, talking about the Nephi and Laban ending. So just a lot of interesting things here. Now, again, the end here, they when Lori found out about Charles and what was coming into town, she believed that they were going to kill her for her life insurance money. Okay, and obviously there's a lot more to it than that, but I just found some of those insights from the documents interesting. I hope you did as well. So that's the end of this video. I don't want to keep rambling on here. Hopefully you got some good info from that, though. Again, I don't really edit these much, if any. So you're just getting it as it is here. But if you have any questions, leave some comments below. I'll certainly come out with some more videos. And this is Dev with Crime Hive. Y'all take care. Chat with you soon.